Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the Mind Shift. I'm Chris Dao-anis, and this is the Mind Shift. This is your Monday merienda for a meaningful shift in your mindset. Because, again, as we said earlier, or in our first video, our actions or decision comes from our mindset. And today we're going to talk about two big ideas on how to finally get to that point or somehow get to points where you will say, I want. I want. I want. And to be able to win in certain areas of life or in life in general, we have to take note of these two big ideas that I'm going to share with you today. So, you ready? Let's rock and roll. First is this. Where's my card? Here. You have to own it. You have to own your roles, your responsibilities, and your feelings. You don't relinquish that responsibility, that role, or that feeling to somebody else out there. Now let's start with your role. Oftentimes you're given a role, you have a title, you have a position, and you have to own that. You have to claim it and take charge. If you're given the role of a supervisor, then own the responsibility of a supervisor. If you're given the role to be a staff member, a team member, then own the responsibility to be a member, to work with the team, to contribute what you need to contribute. Sometimes or oftentimes in life we will lose because we don't own our roles. If you're given the the role as a member, we try to own something else. We try to own another role, which is not our role. And so, what is your role now? What is your role in your company now? What is your role in the community now? Then own it. Own it. Number two, responsibility. There is this, in life, we have these three circles. And I think I learned this from Stephen Covey. There are your circles of concern, which is a big, it's like the world, and you are concerned of whatever is happening there. But then there is this smaller circle within your circle of concern, which is your circle of influence. And what you do there is that to you it's your circle of influence because you can influence it. But then there is this smaller circle within your circle of concern, and within that smaller circle of influence, there is this your circle of control. And those are the things that lie in your circle of control you can control. So you have to take charge, you have to take responsibility for that. And what you need to do to those things within your circle of control is to plant seeds of hard work and smart work. You take charge, you make the decision, you take control. You have to own it. You have to own it. So what are you going to do with the things in the outside of your area of control, but it is within your circle of influence? Then you try to speak about it, write about it, and try to influence it in ways that you can influence. But then you cannot control if it is beyond your circle of control. And oftentimes, what you can control is yourself. So you only have to take responsibility and have to act and own the actions that you need to do as a person. And how about the things that you're only concerned but you cannot control? Then maybe pray about it. Pray of those areas that are outside of your area of control. And so that you'll be able to focus your time, your effort and energy, your thinking, your thoughts to the area that you can control. So you will be able to take responsibility to the things that you need to take charge. Okay? So that is our first idea. We have to own it. Oh, but before we leave the idea, the concept on owning, another thing that we need to own is our feelings. We feel something, and maybe this is brought about by the circumstances that is going on around us, but nobody will ever make you feel the way you feel. You you feel the way you feel because of you, because of where you're coming from, because of your background, your orientation, your attitude in life, your mindset. And so don't blame someone else of what you feel if it's a bad feeling. And if it's a good feeling, yes, people are influencing you, but in the end, the bottom line of the equation of your feeling is you, your thoughts, your decisions. You decided, you choose to focus on this thing, so you're feeling this way. So to be able to own your feeling is to take charge, to be mindful of where you are focusing on. Are you focusing on the good things that will bring you joy and energy and hope and faith and the feeling of love? Or are you focused on the negative things that would put you to blaming, to pinpointing, to despair and desperation and sadness? You don't want to have that. You don't have to this feeling of what else? Anger and envy, or all of those negative feelings. You have to change your focus, and so that you'll be able to, and that is how you are going to own it, because nobody will make you feel the way you feel. You feel that way because of you, because of what's going on in our body, in our mind, in our thoughts, in our small world, in our orientation, how we view the world, how we view the outside world. It's because of us. And so if we want to take charge and to own our feelings, then we have to take charge of what we focus on and try to bombard or get nourished or nurtured by these wonderful and beautiful teachings and words and music and these words of wisdom, written or spoken words, that will bring you hope, joy, and energy, vibrancy, that will help you really enjoy what you're feeling, so that it will be easier to really own that feeling. Because after all, sometimes our roles and responsibilities, how we address them, oftentimes it is our feeling that would dictate that. And if we're happy, we'll be happier to take charge of our roles or responsibilities. And so we have to be mindful of where we're focusing and what affects our feelings, our emotions. But again, it is us that we have to own our feelings and emotions, and nobody else will dictate that to us. And so that's the first idea, own. The second is this big word, now. Now. Now is the moment to finally do that thing that you've been dreaming to do. Now is the time to act and do something. Now is the time to read that book. Now is the time to sing that song. Now is the time to finally put into action that plan. Now is the time to finally shoot that video. Now is the time to share that message. Now is the time to sign up to that learning event. Now is the time to join that organization that will help you and build you up, build your confidence in your competence. Whatever that is, now is the time. Even go back to the area of personal finance, and we would listen to uh, investment experts. And if people have not been investing for a long time, and they ask you, when is the best time to invest? Now. Now is the time. Not yesterday, not 2 years ago. If you haven't done it, then now is the time. So what is that thing that you want to, what is that field that you want to win in life? Then remember, to be in this moment which is the present. And it's a present because it's a gift that you have to take advantage of right now and finally do the thing that you need to do. So do it now. If you need to plan, then plan it now. If you need to write, write it now. What is that thing that you've been delaying, that you've been thinking? And sometimes we have this, we we aspire to be perfect. We aspire perfection in the things that we want to do. And that is okay. That aspiration, that longing. But if it is being used to delay your projects, to delay your services, to delay your products, to delay your way of serving your clients, your customers, the people around you, and you keep on delaying because of that mistaken desire to perfect this, whatever that would be, before you deliver it, then let me tell you now that now is the time to finally make the decision to, do you think you need to ship it now? As Steve Jobs would say, real artists ship. Do you have to ship that now? That speech, that book, that uh, career, that degree that you've been trying to study, but you've been delaying it. What is that? Or is there a project that you need to do and you kept on delaying it? Then now is the time to finally take action. You have to take action now. And that is one of the ways also of how we are going to own our roles, responsibilities, feelings, including our projects, goals, and aspirations, so that after some time, in due time, will be rewarded and say, I won, because after all, you did your job, you owned it, you owned it, and you took action now. And so because of that, you will say someday, you will say, I won. You will win. Again, this is Chris Dao-anis, and this is the Mind Shift, your Monday merienda to move you into meaningful shift in your mindset. I hope this serves you, and I hope you go there and finally, yes, own it now. I'll see you in the next video next Monday.